Hey, good weekend to you. Welcome to Leading Edge. I'm Jerry Anderson. Good to have you guys along. I hope your Thanksgiving weekend has been and continues to be outstanding. In that vein, kind of a different kind of show today. As I was getting kind of nostalgic for Thanksgiving past, I started thinking about football because if you grew up around here, you know the Detroit Lions play football every Thanksgiving, always have. And long ago, they actually used to win some of them. But life moves on for all of us. And ahead, former Rocket great Bruce Gradkowski on how his life's journey brought him back to Toledo and this year back to the football stadium. And right now, I want to, when I was a young Lions fan, I got to tell you, I learned about a guy named Dick Night Train Lane. Ring a bell? Football fans, you've heard it. A great defensive back. He punished people when he tackled them. I mean, he played 14 years in the NFL, all pro, 7 of those years. Inducted into the Hall of Fame 1974. His 68 career interceptions, number 2 all time when he retired, and still stands number 4. He shows up on all the lists of top players in the history of the game. Well, his son, Richard Lane, is my guest. He's also making quite a name for himself now, not on the gridiron, but on a bigger playing field. He is the only, as I read this, only full-time African-American lay evangelist in Catholic ministry. And these days, he's doing so out of St. Pat's right here in Toledo. Mr. Lane, welcome. Thanksgiving around Northwest Ohio, it was Lions time. Tell me a bit about your dad. I mean, I know your parents divorced when you were quite young, but you still have memories of Dad.
Yeah, I do. I mean, it was a tumultuous relationship when we were younger because, it's like, he was always gone playing Dick Night Train Lane. And I didn't know that Dad was a celebrity until I got maybe 12, 13 years old. We would have friends over to the house, Uncle Sammy, Uncle Dean, Uncle Joe, Uncle Jesse. These are all just uncles that would just come and hang out. I didn't know Uncle Dean was Dean Martin. I didn't know Uncle Sammy was this little short black guy with a patch on his eye who used to dance and sing, Uncle Sammy Davis Jr. I didn't know Uncle Jesse used to run pretty quick.
No.
Uncle Jesse Owens.
I know how.
I didn't know Uncle Joe was, this guy. I just thought they just named this arena after him in Detroit.
Joe Louis?
Because he was a nice guy. I didn't know he used to box.
You grew up around those guys because your dad was Night Train Lane. By the same token, Richard Lane, my guest here, it was your mom. In your words, I'm going to borrow from your words, who drilled a sense of God into you. I mean, she was the one who regularly took you to church, and I'll point out, folks, a Lutheran church.
Yeah.
But it sounds to me like maybe it wasn't really connecting with you. You went because Mom said you were going, right?
Of course, yeah. I wasn't scared of my father. My father was ESPN and Sports Illustrated ranked the 100 most feared men to ever play the game of football. Dad came in number 2 next to Dick Butkus. I wasn't afraid of Night Train Lane. I was terrified of my mother. So, when Mom said do something, I said those 2 words to keep from getting a beat down, which was yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Smart man you are. You did college. Yeah. Did military for 6 years. And I think it was maybe as you were preparing to leave, maybe for the military, your mom really admonished you to stay connected to church. And I think it was in those years, now you're kind of out on your own, when you actually did start examining things of God for yourself.
Yeah, it was late in life.
Okay.
I was a worldly guy. I traveled all over the world. I'm just a regular guy. People try to hold me up as this holy, only thing holy about me is my socks and my underwear. I'm just a broken, battered, and bruised man who has, done things and lived life. Finally, in my mid to late 30s was when I really had an epiphany, if you will, where, I said, you know what? I got to get serious with my faith. I have to get serious because everything around me was going through hell. I was going through my second divorce. I had lost some jobs. It was crazy. And I had nothing to fall back on but God and my faith. And I'm glad my mother instilled that in me. And basically, the Lord turned my life around.
That is just amazing. And I believe you found your way to the Lord at a Catholic service. Yes?
Yes,
Ah,
yes. I went to a Catholic church, and there was this lay person up there preaching one day, and I had been playing around. You know, I'd been a pretend Catholic for 19 years. I was just going, fulfilling my holy day of obligation, and just going and sitting in the back seat with the rest of the drunks and everything else after we had just come back from the club and everything else. And finally, he made an invitation, and it impacted my life. He said, if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, if you want to try something new, if you want to change, if you want true change in your life, give God a try. And I want you to come forward right now and give your life to God. And I did. And I've never looked back ever since.
Richard Lane is my guest, the son of Dick Night Train Lane of NFL fame. I'm going to take a break because I want to pick it up there. I mean, you're talking about altar calls and stuff like that. As a Protestant, that rings. I grew up on that stuff.
In a Catholic church.
Yeah, a Catholic church, no doubt. I want to see how he got then from the altar into doing this vocationally. It's an amazing story. Richard Lane, hang where you are. This is Leading Edge. I'm back right after this.